Computer. Lights.
Morning, folks, and welcome to Thursday. Brian's not with us. Why is his thingy still on? There we go. And off it goes. All right, we're at Thursday today. And this is our last day to work on our tech manual before we ship it out tonight. So it probably is going to go through one more check and we'll ship it out tomorrow. But work should be done by tonight. So we're going to do that today. I'm going to copy this layer. We're going to go ahead and just get started on this. Get cracking. All right, we're on page 4. Now what I have done is I went on ahead and just took the old Mixam tablets here, and I just put the trade dress on top of it. I had to remember the word trade dress yesterday. It took so long. It was the day before. Suffering from trade dress. Why is this so quiet? Hang on real quick. We're just going to do this. There we go. Give us some other music to work with here. And repeat. Alrighty. Now we need our page we're working on. This is complicated, but we're getting there. I'm just setting up my screens so that I can see what I'm doing here. I'm in the middle of the page. Good morning. Well, good evening, Hone. Almost good night for you. Well, I guess it's not just almost. It is good night for you. Well, welcome back. Okay. So we're doing page layout. What I did already was to set up the page on the template. So here is the template that comes from the printer. The printer has these guides to it. Anything past this dotted line will probably be cut off. So we don't want to go past that dotted line. So even when I put the trade dress on, we want to make sure we're inside this dotted line. I don't mind if this gray bar goes all the way off and then gets cut at the end of the page. So it's okay that it goes there. This dotted line right here is red and black, and that means that this is the seam of the pages. So we know that this is a left page. This is what we call trade dress. And I had to think about that for a long time because I used to do this a lot in the 90s, and I don't do it as much anymore. But page setting and layout is a thing that has, and in fact, we have made a mistake because of my knowledge from printing from the 90s. But this is what's called trade dress. And that means that it is the design that we use throughout the book that makes it all look like the same book. Trade being like, as in the word meaning a trade, like a job, not trade like I trade you $1 for a candy or something like that, or a candy for a candy. It's a different meaning of the word trade. And then dress is meant not like a thing you wear, but rather how you uh, how you dress something, so how you make it look. It's like the word kimono in Japanese, which just really means thing you wear. It's a wearing thing, but we, because ki is to wear and then mono is thing, so it's a wearing thing. Um, but of course, when we say kimono, we think of the dress that is the traditional Japanese dress. So it's the same kind of thing. Dress means many things in English, and in this case, we're using it in sort of an older term. So trade dress. And I'm saying this a lot because I forgot the word on Tuesday and could not remember it. And it's a term we use in the industry. Okay, so I've added a page number, and I'm going to make sure the page number is inside what we call the safes. So this yellow here is a safe, and that means that inside this yellow border, you shouldn't put any words because it may or may not get cut off at the end of the page. So we're being careful about safes, and we can look at the page number and put it way over here in the corner because it's still inside the safe and not not actually outside the safe, which would be bad. So we're going to do the same thing on the flip side. This is trade dress for the other page. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a 5 over here. All right. And so this is going to be inside that safe. Same thing. We'll do this. We'll do this thing. This is not the most exciting of my shows. I'm sorry about that. However, this is one of the more important ones. All right. Now that I've set this page up, we can now change the names and numbers and everything like that. So like we'll go here for the left side, bring this back up to full opacity, and then we'll bring the page in. So this is the artwork from page 4, which sits here. And I've already turned off its background information so that I don't have to have that complicate the matters here. And so just the front part of this. And then I copied it over. And now it's on top of my trade dress. And we can actually see it just fine. So we're going to close page 4, and we're not going to save because I've changed it only for this one job. So we'll close it, and then we'll take this page 4 and we'll say save as, and not here because that's not where we want. I always have to move these over to another monitor because my eyes are getting weaker. And as they get weaker, this becomes more and more of a problem. Okay, we're going to go to Bellatrix Rising completes tech manual. Completes. And this is BR04 BR0 tech manual dash PP04. PP is usually used to indicate page, and I don't know why it's 2 P's, but it is. So there's that. Okay. We'll go to page 5. Bring up page 5. Okay, so this is page 5. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to turn off the background. There probably should be more words here, but there isn't. So there's that. I don't think I legitimately want to put more words here. However, this open blank spot does graphically bother me, right? Because it's too short a zone for this to actually, it's too small. And I feel uncomfortable about how small it is. So let's try something. First, let's go on ahead and go to the right side template. It's bigger than the page. So I'm going to turn the trade dress down just a little so I can see I'm going to take this and let's see just how much I can shrink it down while it still stays inside the safes. Right, so if we go all the way to the edge, yeah, it's still going to be small. And I really don't want to go very much further than the safes. I want you to be able to read this map. Also, tradition says that if you are going to read something like that's set opposite of the page, so not this way but this way, we traditionally make it so that you can read the book as if you were to open the book like this. Right? That's what tradition says. You want to read it this way. So if it can't be this way, then you have to have it this way. And that's printing tradition. And we have a lot of stupid printing traditions. Anyway, so what I can do though is bring this out to here like this and apply that transformation. And we will, because it says Bellatrix control zone, and really the honest to goodness truth is it says Bellatrix control zone here too. This is all of the stars that are in the Bellatrix control zone. Here's the gap. And here are all of the stars in the actual local area. And this is 1 parsec square. You'd be amazed to know that this was made in Excel. I'm amazed to know that this was made in Excel. I can always help you with something. I mean, short of flying over there, which is a little far away. Well, and giving you money because I'm an artist and broke. So there's that. But I can help you with anything else. I would love to. Maybe we should put some Tamarbeshi in here. So I have 2 versions of Tamarbeshi in here. Ooh, drawing a hoodie. I can help you with that. Are you having problems with folds of cloth? Folds of cloth, yeah. Folds of cloth are really rough. I'll help you with it. Hang on. I am. All right. So Tamarbeshi is, like I was saying, it's like Arabesh. The font you see in Star Wars all the time. Okay, let's bring up the trade dress. This is this page here. It looks good, looks solid. We'll save this as. We'll go into Bellatrix Rising completes. Tech manual completes. And this is page 5. Okay. We'll open page 6. So real quickly, I will give you a little tutorial on how to draw until Brent gets in here, and then Brent's going to yell at me. But but until then, okay. So think about when you think about how things fold, right? We start with the body of a person, right? And we're going to have just the cylinders to indicate. And this is not the right pen for this. This is going way too slow, folks. Right? We think about things like, let's say we start with the cylinders and that kind of hair is very hard, especially in anime style and manga style. I'll help you with that in a second. One thing at a time. Let's do the hoodie first. So, okay. So if we were to take and just draw in what I call the basic shapes of a person, and you always do this in blue so that you can draw over it and you know what color it was. Some people draw in red. That's also good. I draw in blue, but start in blue. And then you can do what I call the movable masses check here, which is where you check to see if the stomach is correct and the chest is correct, right? So let's do a better job of this because there's no movement here. Okay. Let's pick a pose. Let's find a pose somewhere. We'll just have a girl sitting on a bench. Okay, so we'll start with just the movable masses here. Okay, so this is the chest, right? And then down here would be the hips, right? We're going to put her legs forward, right? So like this. And all we're going to do is just put circles in to indicate where her hips are, like so, and like so. And if we were to like look at this picture, she'd be sitting up straight because we can see like her spine is kind of doing this. And maybe I don't want that, right? So this is why you do these things in pencil. You take this and let's have her bending over a little, like she's looking at her phone, right? I'm going to take this and we're just going to rotate this forward like so, and then lean it in like this. And this is where using digital is so much easier than pencil because I'd have to erase the whole stupid thing if I wasn't, right? We are going to have to erase because this arm now is going to be lower. It's going to be like here, right? But at least I didn't have to get rid of all of it, right? So we'll put one arm here, like so, and it sticks out. When we look at our phones, our elbows stick out, right? So one of the first models you've ever got is you. You're your best model. So you look at yourself and see how well and what spot these are in. So I'm looking at me, and I'm looking at me holding a phone, and I'm looking at where my arms are, right? My arms are out. They're not like this. They're out. So holding a phone, my arms are out. So I'm going to take this and go like so, right? And then bring it back. The same thing over here. Looking at my arms. This arm may be out, but it's going to end up looking like that. So here's the phone, right? And when we put her neck in, we want her neck to follow this curve. So it's going to be like so, right? Because that's where you want this neck to be. And then a head is usually just a circle, like so. Then we can do this, right? And all we've got here is just a rough drawing, right? This is the sketch. This is how we do a sketch. Now that we've tilted this down, the breasts will be lower, like so. One of the things that's hard is when you're male trying to draw female body parts is always difficult. I always have a real problem with not drawing breasts, but where they land on the body is always difficult because I always think of my chest, which is always higher and closer to my body. So it's always harder to do that. I find that hard to do. Even knowing, even practicing all of that stuff inside my head, I have a hard time visualizing it. And go to a new layer, right? We can come in here with a G pin then, and we can talk a little bit about like the actual structure, right? Right. We can just put her thumb up on it like so, because she's texting probably. And I'm just finding all the points. And there are points across the body that we can tell. For one, like the collarbone here, this bone goes from either side of our shoulders straight to a V right here in the sternum. This bone's called the sternum, right? So I know that if I were to draw that in, I could draw from here, make this V, and then draw back out, going out to that line, right? Because I'm going out to this shoulder, right? And then we talk about like the stomach. She's bent over, so the stomach is going to fold and fold again, right? So we go through like so, and then fold in. And then when we move down through here, we get the hip is going to move down straight because it's want to go this way, right? And then we're going to put the, ooh, that was low. And put the leg out like so, and this leg out like so. We come across the glute and through there, right? And this is a very fast drawing, so we'll tolerate what we can with this. And we always bulge out for the calf muscle and the calf structure, and then down into the legs. All right. Now that we have sort of this drawing going, and this is the rough of the rough, right? Now we have this guy here, right? We don't need to worry about the rest of it because, oh yeah, hands and eyes suck. I'll show you how to do those. First of all eyes have rules. And if you can follow all the rules, everything works pretty well, right? There are rules to how we do hands and eyes and stuff. So I didn't even mess with the hands because we're not doing the hands right now, right? We're going to do a hoodie. So the hoodie, coming in here, and I'm going back in with my red pen. I'm going to go back into my technical pen too. We look at the structure that's here, right? We're going to have a lot of things that are bunched up here and bunched up here. That's the way this works. The hoodie is going to bunch up right over the wrists, and it's going to bunch up right at the elbows, and it's going to bunch up at the shoulders, and everything else is going to be pretty straight. But the looser the object, the more you're going to have stress lines that go in different directions, but they always follow a pattern. So let's do that real quick. I'll delete. That was not the, I'll delete. There we go. Deselect. So when we come in here with a hoodie, we know we're going to have, hey, you picked the wrong tool. We know we're going to have like a band right here, right? Because that's what happens with hoodies. They've got that band. If you've got girl hoodies, sometimes they'll even have this, which you'll actually see on my spaceship uniforms, as everybody wears it. It's unisex for in the future, but it's not in this point. So when we come down from up here, though, it's going to bunch right here. So we draw the folds like this, right? And they're like little mountains as everything kind of collapses in there, right? But when you come from here, you think about the way that the arm has twisted. This arm is turning, right? So it's going to be turning this way. So that means that you're going to have stresses that go like that as they come across. And you'll just come up and then up and over like so. And it's okay if you're not. It's also open, by the way. Here's the other part. If the hoodie isn't up and it's down, then you're going to want to put all of that behind her like so, right? And then make this loose. Make this all very loose. It's not tied straight to her body. It's going to be very loose around her body. So I wiggle a little whenever I draw the zipper, and then we'll put some lines in because that's all just loose. It's all crunched up. And in fact, when we come under here, we should probably do something like that, right? Because this is all crunched up too. Wink, wink, like so. How did we end up on this layer? We undid and wait. Oh, he's not here. But we've got to do this first. Guess what we did? All of this red is on the wrong layer. It's supposed to be on this layer, and it's not. When I hit undo, it went back too far. That's okay. We'll finish drawing this, and then I'll just do it in a different way. Right? I know. It's horrible. Anyway, okay. So the thing about clothing is when your shoulder is round, the clothes will straighten out a lot of time. So you'll get a lot of straight out of the clothing. So we're going to come around the corner here and then come down like so, and then through like this. And then when you come up the arm, puff out like that. Come up the bottom of the arm and puff out. Right? And then we'll do this, and this comes up like so, because this is stressed, right? Think about how the fabric stresses. going across. And then make sure that you divot in like this when you have a stress in the fabric. Okay. Remember that the bottom of the fabric is going to show up down here underneath there because it's puffier than her arm. So what we'll do now, we'll go in here and we'll just ink it, right? Right, and we'll just come up here like so, and her hoodie goes across her back like this. And then it'll come together for the zipper. Like that. And I won't put this line in because I've decided to go on ahead. Yep. Grab your glove and your phone because you'll need to figure out how to do this yourself. Like I said, you are your best model. For one, you don't have to convince yourself to model for you. It's always harder when you have to convince people to model for you. We're going to go down here and the pants will do the same thing, right? It's going to fold here. It's going to fold here. And it's going to fold up like that. And when we get to her knees, it's the same thing. It's going to fold here. It's going to fold there. It's going to fold like that. Right? Then we'll put like... When you go around corners on fabric, wiggle the line and do that. Okay? What you end up with is something that looks more like this. Right? We're going to go across the top so we can connect all of this because, honest, it doesn't look as bad as it looks here. And we don't put the undercurve of the breast because the breast is obscured by all of the folds of the fabric. So we do put the push here because the fabric's being pushed out by that structure, but it doesn't have to be anywhere else. So we'll do... It's hard to do a face from this angle. We'll do it in a minute. Okay. But now we have this, right? And all we need to do is correct a few lines and all is good on this. No, that one. Right. And then there's always a line through the middle of and I think I may have made the hip too far forward. Now looking at it here, I'm feeling like this is too far forward for this because this should follow the line of the body and come down like so. So this is where this should be. And all of these lines will serve it. Right? And they should converge. When a line converges, they come together. And we need to make sure that happens here, like so. So they're going to come out and then over like that. And that's how you get the curves. Part of this is that this needs to be more like so. Got too much of a butt going on here. Butt jokes. I am so 12 sometimes. Look at me being 12 years old. Okay. As an artist, we should never be 12. Or at least we should never professionally be 12. Okay. So now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking the folds here aren't pronounced enough. So when I come back through again, I'm going to push them out like so. I'm going to bring this across the actual fabric like that. We're going to follow this line. Always follow these lines. Now, I drew this really, really, really fast and probably would have spent a lot more time on my sketch if this wasn't if this was for an actual comic, because man, it's a little rough here. I also feel like this goes like that, and this goes like that, and this line doesn't exist. There. Going back to my original blue line sketch, I feel like the head is at the wrong angle. So let me show you how to do some critical stuff with the head. First of all, the head is structured in a couple of ways, right? It has a circle. It's an egg, effectively, right? It's an upside down egg. And as manga artists, we tend to make the egg more pointy at the bottom just because of the nature of manga. Because in real life, of course, real humans are much more shaped like this. But that always looks kind of weird in manga. So the first thing you want to learn is the cross. Put a line through the middle like this, and then a line like that. This tells you where the face is faced, so to speak. And this line, by the way, right here, is not at the center of the circle. I don't know if I can see it. Maybe. I can see it sort of. It's hard to see. I'll have to move out onto my Twitch stream to see. Because Restream, which is the program I'm using right here, this whole program, is a specific website that allows me to video stream to YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Twitch all at the same time. So I only have controls for Restream here. I don't have Twitch controls. It's one of the reasons why when Brent is here, he will do this. Let me go to Twitch and see what I got. Hold on. Right? It's cold out. Get loot. I don't know if that's helping me any. This is not helping me. Not helping me at all. Okay. Channel. I'm broadcasting. Look at me broadcasting. There. Now I can look at your profile pic. There we go. See, now that's nice. I like that. I think. Can I get to any further on this? How do I get further on this? Like look better. I don't know. Okay. Well, I like what I can see. So there's nothing wrong with pencil. I don't have my sketchbook up here. But I draw with pencil all the time. I just don't draw my comics with pencil. That's all. There's nothing wrong with it. And the only reason I don't draw with pencil is because this guy, this big monster behind me, is my scanner. And it'll scan at 11 by 17, which for the rest of the world is A3 paper. It'll scan that and print it. But since it's an inkjet printer, it does a bad job of it after a while. Okay, back to what I was saying. So you don't want to put the line, the cross line, in the middle of the circle. You want it to be in the middle of the head, which you have decided is here to here. So you want it in the middle there, which is right there. That's too high. You want it to be in the middle, which is right there. So that puts this line there. Okay. So not there. Dame. Dame, dame, dame. Dame. Bots. Okay. So when we draw the head, this becomes the eyebrows. Eyebrows, not the eyes. The eyes are actually a little lower, right? So they're about here. Then the nose is right at where this circle crosses the bottom of the cross. And then the mouth is here, halfway between here and here. You can draw these things freehand, but the rules still apply, right? Right? The rules still apply. All of the same rules apply, even if you draw it freehand, right? And we still have to do all of the pieces parts that were here before. Like the sternomastiff is that part right here that goes across to her shoulders. So her shoulders are still going to be there, and this bone is still going to be there. All of this stuff is still the same structure. Nothing changes because of the fact that we're not using, or that we're using the anime template. You know, all of these pieces parts are still here. They're just not as we're using the anatomy to give us warm-up practice. So we need to be able to practice the anatomy at all times, even when we're working in manga, right? And she looks so weird without her eyes being like colored in. We should color in her eyes, right? And make her not so weird. Senpai. Okay, maybe not. Senpai. Now she's crying. I don't know why she's crying. I don't know what's my problem. What's going on here? Anybody know? Right. There we go. I don't know what my problem is. I'm just being weird. It's strange. I don't know. Issues. I have issues. Okay. So when we do this, though, you can still see, if we change colors here, you can still see that this cross still tells me where everything is on this line, right? Her face is tilted up. I can see that her face is tilted up because this line now feels more like that, and this line feels more like this. And then we're still at the same distance as here. The nose is halfway between the jaw and this line, and the mouth is halfway between the nose and the jaw, right? So everything is still the same. Nothing has changed as far as where the locations are, even if we're drawing in manga style. So, So moving over to here, the eyes. So eyes and mouth, you've probably noticed in manga style, eyes and mouth are exaggerated. This is because Japanese culture finds small mouths to be attractive. I don't know why. It's different in American culture. So this is one of those, we just have to nod and say, okay, we understand. So all manga style stuff generally has small mouths. So we go along here and we just check the spots, right? The eyes are going to still be in a zone about like this. Even manga eyes are still going to be big, right? And then, but they're still going to follow a rule of about one eye's distance apart. So the eyes are usually about one eye apart. So you could draw a third eye in the center, right? Then the eyebrows will be up here. Right? And for eyes, everybody's eye is a different style. It depends on who you learned under and what you do and how you do it. When I'm freehand drawing, like right here, I usually just put the top of the eye with an eyelash like so. And then the bottom of the eye comes out from the bottom like so. And this is even true whenever I'm using my maquettes. And then I underscore the actual iris, or the actual, right? And then we just draw in here a little bit like so. And then I give highlights to either side. Hey, Brian's joining us again. Check it that Brian's here. Hang on, I gotta move my mouse. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Brian's here. Check
Hi.
it, dude. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Doing okay. Doing okay. I was doing page setting, but then Hone wanted some help with like folds and stuff like that. You could help Hone too. But
I'm going to be
you're
working on
bringing-
some dynamic poses, so
Let's do this one though. No, you go here. There we go. Let me do some creative working here. I just freaked out OBS, so hang on. Totally flipped out OBS. Hello, Brian.
oh god, no, not OBS.
Yeah, I know, right? There we go. Some reason, okay, there we go. I'm going to do this a different way. I'm going to get OBS squared away over here on a second monitor so that I can draw normally like you over there. So I'm going to take this guy, I'm going to shrink him down.
Wait, I draw normally?
No. I didn't mean to insult you.
Hi, Hone.
Oh man, OBS is having a bad day. I'm really making OBS mad. Trying to do this real time is like really ticking it off.
We're doing it live.
Right?
We're kind of getting camera and we're doing it live.
Well, and I'm switching cameras on it and I'm messing with setups and it's just mad. So I will take a quick break here while we wait for OBS to come back.
OBS has died.
And I hope it doesn't die out completely. Yeah, OBS is totally out to kill us. What's OBS's problem today? Ooh, we are still spinning blue. Blue spinny thing. Blue, spinny. Well, you can still hear me. That's actually a plus.
Yeah. And I can't tell if we can still see you or not, but
Right? Ah, OBS came back. Okay. Because if I do this and then this, there we go. This way I can still work as long as I stay within the parameters of the toolbars on either side, right? You guys don't really need to see the toolbars. But as long as I stay inside the toolbars, we should be okay. I'm going to make my picture a little bit bigger too, because then I can, that way I'm not as, I mean, I'm smaller than Brian, but you know, that's genetics.
I should feel insulted by this.
I don't know. I never know. I'm bad at insults. Insults and I just don't do well together. I'm not good at insults. I try. It just doesn't work. Okay, I'm actually going to, you know what I can do also is move this guy up, because you really don't need to see the top of this. And then maybe, well, because it's still not going to help much on this. I can still only do that. But at least you and I are roughly the same size-ish.
There we go.
And that'll work. And now OBS is back and working reasonably well. Maybe move me over here. Move me over here. That way we've got some space in between us here. Wonder if I can bring like a picture or something in. Put it behind there. Find a cool picture. Probably not in the OBS directory though. Doodly 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 doo. Da boo. So, right? Because we can put this guy in there. I like this guy. He's really huge though. If you're ever wondering what this is, wow, this is a big picture. This is, hang on quick. This is a picture of the center of the galaxy taken with a radio telescope. That bright white spot in the middle there is Sagittarius A prime. And that's the star that's the black holes at the center of our galaxy. And you can see all around it, all of these other radio environments that are out there. Isn't that kind of cool? I think that's cool. I will put Sagittarius A prime between us, like so. So the eye of the galaxy will watch us. There we go. Eye of the galaxy, folks. It's like Eye of the Tiger, except different.
Eye of the tiger.
The thrill of the fight. Okay. Sorry about that, honey. We got this all squared away. We got this figured out. We got this. We got this. Okay. Back to what I was doing. I meant to do this yesterday because it was weird. I couldn't tell where I was drawing, how I was drawing. I couldn't get it up on the screen. It was a mess. So, okay. We were talking about drawing eyes and stuff like that, and so now I've got kind of this design here, so I can come out there and do that. Right. put the eyes in, come out, and then I'm on the wrong frickin' brush. No, I'm on the right brush. Why is the G pen being funky? Don't be funky, G pen. It's being funky. That's the problem I have with the G pen all the time. So then I try to follow this zone in here. And we are, of course, on top of everything here. So
Yeah, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Okay.
what's going on? What's the hissy noise?
That's suddenly my XP pen lost pressure sensitivity.
That's funny. That's exactly what was going on over here. It was like my pen's suddenly getting globby, which has always been sort of my problem with the other pen, and now it's all globby.
Luckily,
Okay.
it goes away after a couple of seconds, but still.
There we go. Okay, then we do the nose, which usually is just a marker, and then the mouth, right? But we're still following all of the guides that we just made over here. Nothing has changed as far as guide work goes. And the reason this is important is because we're going to change the nature of this picture right here. Bork, thank you. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do the same thing we just did there, right? We're going to look at this as a unit, an absolute unit. I'm actually going to erase all of this temporarily so that we can redraw it because it's confusing. The only problem I have with using digital is that you can't get really a difference in variance with pencil like you can with pen or with a regular paper. So like when I draw this in pencil, I'm going to draw like so. I can't come back in and go darker like that easily. So it won't go into a darker shade, and that is a problem. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're just bringing in the head. It's round like this, but here's the thing. We're going to draw this cross like this. Right? And this now tells me a couple of things. One, we come up across the top of the head like this, and this is where the ear is going to be. But now we get the same like design on things, right? There's a second line that's right through here. It's going to be the eyebrows. And we now know that the face is going to be like so. And we got the nose is going to be halfway between there and there. And the mouth is halfway between there and there. So when we come in, then we come back with the nose. It comes out like so because it's at this point right here. We know that. And the eyes will be here and here. And just like when we looked here, we want to put like a distance marker of, well, that's too close, of about one eye's difference between our two eyes. But the eyes are going to be tilted across this circle that we've come across here. So we're going around this object and around this object here. And so we get this like circle zone. All right. Like I said, hard to see with the pencil. But now when we come in closer, you can see that if we were to draw the eye, which will be pointed down now here, right? We're going to draw this eye also pointed down.
It's time to take a 2-minute break.
Time to take a 2-minute break, says Alexa. We put her nose in right here like so. We put her mouth like so. And we tilt these eyes so that they're looking inward like so, because they're always, your eyes are sort of crossed when you look at the phones, right? And then we notice that the eyebrows are going to be like so. Right? And they tilt in because all of this structure here, if we were to like put a grid across it, it would look kind of like this. Right? So we're going to look at kind of the grid of the face there. Now the cheek, because of this, the cheek comes out, but then it comes back in for the eye. Right? Our cheekbones stick out. And of course, as in manga, we're mimicking more of an Asian face, which has a higher cheekbone. Right? But then we come up and around like so. Right? So if we were to go out on our inking layer out here, fork, hit the ink pen, hit the G pen, go like this, we can come back through. Got a little too carried away up there, but that's all right. We'll come back. Yeah, see, now the G pen's playing weird with me. I don't know what's going on. I was just singing its praises too, but it's doing the thing where that, and I hate that.
What's it doing?
The pressure sensitivity is weird. See how it's got this spike right there now? Instead of coming up gently to an end, it's all pressure and then no pressure. I think it's time for me to swap pins. So hang on real quick. This is usually when I think the battery in my pen is getting a little low.
XP pens don't have batteries, do they?
Yeah. Don't you put them on batteries? You put yours on a battery, yes?
Mine doesn't have a battery. It doesn't crack open like that.
No, it's got a little charger thing on the end. See?
Mine doesn't.
Do you use this pen? Doesn't have a hole on the end?
No, it does not. See? No hole.
I'm putting mine in a charger over here and plugging it into a USB port.
Mine doesn't
I
do
didn't
that.
need to do that this entire time.
Huh?
If I didn't need to do that this entire time, I mean, I've been like sitting here going,
Are we doing two different pens here?
Right?
'Cause mine
Well,
doesn't-
I mean, clearly,
Mine
your
doesn't have a pen.
I was going to say mine has a hole back here with a plug, and they gave me a wire that goes to a USB port.
Yeah, mine doesn't have that.
Weird.
In which much was discovered about our two XP
Right?
pens.
So now, if you look, despite the fact that she looks like an alien, we've got the face going at least the right direction. Yes? We'll have to come back and fix it. Because the other thing is, though Asians have high cheekbones, they also have usually low jaw lines. So from the side, I could get so much. That's why she looks so alien. Right? So from here, we're going to have a little bit more out like so. Right? And it's going to come out from here. And then that. Actually, kind of go like that. We don't want to go too far. Your pen also doesn't have a battery. I have an alien. I have an alien pen. That's what it is. Okay. So though I put this mark here, it actually is going to be probably closer to here is where that ear is. And remember that ears follow this line, which is gone too high up there. And I can tell if that's part of our problem, right? So when we come along here and do that, and we come back here, and then we do the little earpiece inside and stuff like that. And I'm drawing freehand with a pen, which is really probably not a good idea at all. Because the ear is a structure, and we should probably at least pre-design the structures in pencil. So we'll go back to our pencil layer here, and we'll discuss this structure, right? It's going to come out from here, kind of do this, kind of do this, kind of do that. That's what I want from that structure. More out and less in, like that. So kind of poking out a lot more. Weird. You guys just, I don't know. I can't tell though if Hone is trolling me. They might be trolling me. They were just talking about drawing traditional. So this might be a troll. A friendly troll. Certainly. Not an unfriendly troll. All right.
I mean, you're the one with an alien pen.
I am. It's so weird. What is the deal with this pen? Okay. So, coming along here, up and over, and come back in, like so. Now we have an ear.
That's when we suddenly get the XP pen group in. It's like, no, everything's fine.
Right. Black helicopters.
Because he has the cheaper one and you have the better one.
Yeah. All right. So now we've got that. This looks a whole lot better. Now to answer the next question, which was how do you do hair? Now, back here on the hoodie, I feel like we didn't get a lot of good hoodie on this. It feels like it should be coming out and back and around more, like so, because hoodies are bigger. And so I'm going to go on ahead and add that to it, which gives it more back. This is all stuff that I would have corrected in the pencil line, but didn't because I was running too fast. So there we go. Like so. So the hand's still not beautiful. I'd have to go back and structure the hand, and I'll show you how we can do that next. So we'll go back into the blue line for that. But I'm doing this fast because really I should be page setting. I'm not. But I don't know where Brent is to like crack the whip. We don't know where Brent went. Where did Brent go? Okay.
I mean, if you want me to crack the whip.
Yeah, no, I'm good. As for hair, when you do hair, we want to look at the zones of the hair too, because there's like zones to everything. First of all, I'm going to make this head more like this because I really don't think that head's out there too much. I think that's weird. It's just weird up there. Really? Okay, Brian.
What?
Guess what? I'm on the wrong layer. So here we go. We're doing it again. You must stop. But why? You're on the wrong layer. I'll just do that. All right, going down here on the right layer. Let's erase some of that. This is one of the major reasons I use maquettes, by the way. All of this readjusting and everything like that is killed quickly by running on maquettes. Okay, hair. Hair happens to have like three major zones, if you will. There's a part through the middle of the head like this, and then there's a part that usually goes along like this, right? So when you do your hair, you're going to come from all of these parts, right? And that's what's going to happen. Right? So that gives us at least an idea of where this hair is going to come from. These are all the zones that it's in right here. And of course, because her head's forward, all of this heavy hair is going to head this way. So make sure it follows gravity, obviously. And it's going to fall off the shoulder here and cascade forward like so. So we'll go back into our pin, G-pin, and we'll follow these lines, right? We're going to come up like so. No, not in red. It's just going to make my life miserable. Follow these lines, come up and around like so, right? And then we'll go out and out and out and out and out, and then follow that forward like that. And then we'll go forward like this. And then
we'll put a happy little tree right
happy
here.
little hair. Happy little hair right there. Happy little hair. We'll come forward like so. Come forward like that. And then just keep going like that. Right.
And now this hair needs a little friend.
This hair needs a little friend. And then we'll make a little friend for this hair right there. Everything has to follow gravity. So come forward like so. And do stuff like that. And she probably put her hair behind her ear. So we're going to come back up and around like so. Doo-doo-doo. Come back through. Happy little hair. Right? And everything comes out of these parts. So you're going to want to move the hair back from these parts like this and over and around from these parts out like so. Right? And there we go. And then her hair is going to come out from cascading around here. Like that. There we go. Right. Now, we're going to have to, we'd still have to do some corrections to the artwork because her head's still too high. Right. And I'd ultimately do something more like this. Right. Because that's probably closer to what we're looking for. So There you go. That's quick and dirty. That's about as quick and dirty as I can make it. And that's where we are. So it's not the bestest drawing ever, but again, I would have spent more time in the pencil stage if I needed to. Now, as far as the hand goes, we'll go in here, and here's the thing with the hand. The hand is a box with a bunch of little boxes, and that's all it is. So we'll get my red pen because we've already done so much stuff in here, and we'll look at where the hand is when they hold a phone, right? My phone is far away from me, so we'll have to use this. We look at the way the hand is holding a phone, right? So the phone goes like up and down, but my hand is at an angle that's different, okay? So if we look at where the phone is, let's go ahead and turn this off. If we look at where the phone is here, this is the plane that the phone is in. Like so. We can draw boxes, right? Then the hand is going to be at a weird angle, sort of like this. And that's where the palm is, right? The thumb then sits sort of in a box plane like this. Then the fingers, we've got one finger that goes up, I've noticed. When we hold with three fingers back here. The pinky doesn't really do anything though. Just these two fingers, right? And then we hold the back of the phone with this one finger. So knowing that, we're going to put one finger here, like so. And then these fingers are just going to wrap around the outside. We're not going to see them ever again. Ever again. Bye, fingers. Right? So then going back in and looking at our ink, we can come back through and we can actually wipe out a whole bunch of this right here because we did it wrong. Not the first time, right? I'm going to look at her fingers like relative to the rest of it. Her hand's probably not the right shape or size. So before I get to that, I'm going to select this hand and bring it to here, which is more in line with her wrist and with the bones of our arm. We're going to make it slightly bigger too. Right? Until it looks right. That's kind of a hard one to say, but it now looks better, right? So if I take my ink and I go in here, I will take this and come around and then like so. And I don't need to draw all of her finger, just enough to tell me what we've got going on here. Manga is all about conservation. It's very much about conservation. We don't want to spend any more time on something than we have to. We just want to give the information that's going on. Part of what makes manga so cool.
Mostly because we have to have this 15 pages done by the end of this week.
You got it. The reason it's that way is because it has to be done now, McNelly pants. So it's all about conservation. It's about spending the least amount of time doing the most amount of information. Right? So now we have, it's better. I'm going to have to come back because her wrist needs to be bigger. There we go. Nope. We're better, not perfect. There. We have to remember that the hand is angled, so Better not perfect. But at least the information is passed. You now read that she's holding that phone. Honestly, if we didn't have 2 hours and only 2 hours, I would have gotten a maquette if I thought this through, but I didn't. That's all right. You get the idea. I think you should draw on your own without using maquettes and then only use maquettes for speed. I hope that helped. That was an awful lot of that. I hope that helps you. I'm going to go back to my tech manual though, because this is due today. Okay, so that's page 5. It's page 4. So we're on page 6. Let's line this up. You are welcome all the time. When we're not on a print deadline, let's talk about this a little bit more when we're not on a print deadline next week, because I think I could do a better job of that. But my brain is kind of in print mode, so I'm a little bit distracted by this. So I apologize. I can do better next week. Do it in your cool. Do it in your cool. There we go. And we'll save this as six. We will go to page 7. Well, actually, I'm going to kill this picture too because it's in the way. Sorry. We'll go to page 7, which is here. Page 7. All right. We're just going to take all of this.
Spoonflower?
What?
Oh, this character, the pattern on this one character's costume is called Spoonflower.
Spoonflower?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds
And
like a personal problem.
well, I'm not drawing it. I mean, yeah.
You're just like, hey, I just work here.
It's like I'm looking at this and going, nah, I'm one person. And that's a complicated pattern.
And it's Spoonflower after all.
And it's Spoonflower.
All right. Living in the unity. Da da bam 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 dun 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 dun. Living in the unity.
Thank you. Now I have living with a hernia in my head.
Living with a hernia. Thank you, Weird Al. What would we do without Weird Al?
Nina, she does.
Man, page 8, page 9, and page 10 all still need to be done. Oh, no. I just saw a typo. Okay.
Bless you.
Thanks. Except that wasn't a sneeze, that was a heavy sigh. But that probably should be also a bless you. I mean, to be fair.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. See you later, Hone. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow if you want to join us tomorrow. And you'll have a different artist tomorrow, too, because Pepper will be with us, theoretically. Always ask Pepper or Brian for help. I am pondering what you are pondering.
Are you pondering? Are you
Yeah.
pondering what I'm pondering, right?
I am pondering getting rid of all of this text here and just making this like a page full of people living in the Unity. Because the text seems complicated, right? And I don't think it's helping much. You know what I mean? Like,
So
Don't-
what's the purpose of the page?
okay, so let's stop real quick and kind of make a thought process check. I don't have enough material, or I don't have any comics to put a comic out on the on the table. But I do have an awful lot of background pictures and different concepts and ideas and things like that. So I want to just put sort of an art book with a rough theme of tech manual. Right? So the rough theme here is that this is a tech manual. And that's kind of where we're headed on this one. But I was much more, here is the tech manual, absolutely, blah, 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 sort of thing earlier. And some of these pages kind of reflect that. Then it was not a tech manual. Then it became sort of like a pamphlet of welcome to the Unity, which I thought was a little bit more appropriate and not as, I don't know. Anyway, now I'm looking at this going, well, it could just be instead of having a conceit, maybe what I should just do is just say, this is my little art book prep for the comic that's coming out. Buy this little art book. It's going to be like $4 or $5, and it'll give you all the art that I'm kind of working on for this. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe that's a better thing.
Okay.
So that's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to, instead of having living in the unity, I'm going to take this entire piece out, and we're just going to put, life in the unity. It's easy. There, and that way, this is just, we'll just load, and I won't save that because I like what I wrote there on that page, but let's not get carried away here, shall we? All right. Because I've got a lot of like random pictures that I can use, and I really ought to.
Character is so pink.
Like Mom would say, pank.
Pank.
Pank. Mm-hmm.
She has a lot of pank on her, don't you know?
Pank. Just, I've done a couple of paintings, and some of them are really nice, and just kind of want to showcase that.
Does she have gold eyes? Yeah, they're kind of goldish. She had some dipsy doodle adventures, don't you know?
Yeah. Did I choose the Talking Girls thing before or for another page? Because I think I did. Yeah. Division colors. Kind of feel like this should be page 8, and then page 9 can be more life in the Unity. That's what I'm feeling.
You're feeling it in your bones.
I'm feeling it in my bones. Yeah, because I only left one page for the timeline. And I feel like really I could use page 12 for timeline. What would I put here, though? What would be part of the culture and arrival and stuff? Maybe this should be page 9 on this like religion thing. Maybe.
Yay!
You feeling all right?
I'm on the wrong layer.
Wait. We got to do the thing. There. Brian is on the wrong layer, Brent. Brian's on the wrong layer. You got to stop. But why? You're on the wrong layer. Oh. There. It's all right, Brent. We are rearranging pages. Good morning, Donald. Oh, it's too bad you're not feeling good. Still appreciate you being here. I mean, but take care of yourself, man. Take care of yourself. We'll be here tomorrow. We'll be here anytime. At the rate we're going, we'll be here forever.
Welcome to the impromptu 24-hour stream.
Right? We will just And then we're on the wrong layer again. And it's a traveling day for Brent, which is all right. You would have just yelled at me anyway. I understand. I have horrible insomnia. Last night I went to bed. I went to bed at about 11. Of course he does. I have absolutely no issue with what he's doing, and B, I know exactly what he's up to and what he's after. So it's not
Uh-huh.
I don't have any problem.
What?
Donald's talking about Brent yelling at me out of love. And I was like, yes,
Oh.
it is totally that. I get it. I got no problem with it at all. I got not a single issue. In fact, I think I've got to credit Brent with I wouldn't be this far along if it wasn't for Brent. I've already had a couple of moments of indecision and like, am I sure I'm doing the right thing? And my imposter syndrome's like really hit me hard. And oh, gotcha. Good. Well, thank you. So I mean, I credit Brent for a lot here. He's doing a world of good. I got no problem with it. There we go. Yep, because Brent does a good keeping me in line thing, and that's important. Okay. So we're gonna take this page and make it 9. We're just gonna
9.
continue 9. Tote. 9. Tote. Because now we can take this and so we've got 8 on the left, 9 on the right. You need to be outlined as well. Brent's traveling, so they were so gleeful. So I got this video last night of these Ukrainians, and they had pilfered a Russian tank, and they were just driving along, like they were all piled on the tank, and they were driving across this field, and they were just all like super happy. They're like the most bizarrely happy guys. And I'm like, this is so me. This is so me. This is what I would do if I would learn how to drive the tank, and then we just start driving across fields. I have a tank. I mean, because it's just so something I would do. I would be completely useless in a war. I'm completely useless as far as a war goes, but it is so something I would do. So right? It was so beautiful. It was such a beautiful thing. We'll take Infinite Sundown. And them in here too, because all these like different aspects of things. I also, by the way, hope that Brent never takes it the fact that I make comments about it every so often about him, keeping on me for this. I hope he doesn't take that as a bad thing by any stretch. I am not even remotely upset about it. Like I said, I think that we're here because he's been doing that. Because this is better. We can get Infinite Sundown over here on this side. I'm going to add some of these guys in here. So, as a side note, as an interesting side note, we've had interesting discussions as far as Geek Tank goes as to whether we wanted a tank as our icon, because we didn't want to project forward the concept that we enjoy or get any kind of we didn't glorify war, I guess, but we didn't want to do that necessarily. This is a discussion made a while back because Chelsea was the one that kind of brought that up. And it was an interesting discussion. We decided to keep the tank because we don't necessarily glorify war, but we love tanks. So there's that. Do 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 do.
Well, it's like Hayao Miyazaki really loves airplanes.
Yeah. But Miyazaki was in the middle. He was also part of the World War II horrors that went on in Japan. So he's got a kind of an interesting, not a love-hate per se, but definitely but I do think we would enjoy designing our tanks or coming up with a tank or something, I think that'd be cool.
I think I know why Horikoshi gave her thigh-high boots. He looked at the pattern of her suit and went, nah, I have to end this early.
I'm not going to keep doing this all day. Yeah. That's very small. Why is it small? Why is that small? Shouldn't be that small.
All right.
And this can be then a 2-page spread. which makes more sense, I think, than to put it over. Oh, yeah. Something with treads. Just anything with treads would be cool. What was that I saw the other day? It was so cool. It had treads, but it was designed for running on roads. So the treads were rubber, but it still allowed it to operate off-road because the treads would still grab in off-road, so it could just jump right out into the, because that's the thing. That would be what would be so cool, would be to have wheelchairs with treads. Yeah. We totally do that. You know what you do is you build the wheelchair with a wide enough tread base that it can tilt the treads and go upstairs. I think it'd be awesome. This is me thinking it out. I'm like, we could do this. You know, we could do this, Donald. We could do this. We totally could do this. This is where, wait, what are you doing? But I mean, like, if you had a chair like so, and it was on a base that had a pivot, and underneath it, then you had like a wheel here and a wheel here, and a wheel like that, and a wheel like that. Right? And then you could take this part here and run it up as the arm of the chair, which would also give you a controller. And in fact, it'd be kind of cool if you had a foot pedal like this so that you could control the, or I guess it'd be more like this. So you could control the speed of it with your feet if you needed to. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. But the thing is, I would design this with these treads like so. And here's the chair. And here's that armrest controller. Right? I design it like that so that the footprint wouldn't be so wide. Right? But then this back wheel could push, really push. And when it did, that way you could get up the stairs and down the stairs without, with these wheels being the pushers and pullers, you could go up and down stairs without your weight tumbling the chair. And since it would pivot, the chair would pivot on this so that if it was going up the stairs, the chair would be like this. And when it was going down the stairs, the chair would still be like this. Right? Because I would think that the most aggravating thing about being in a wheelchair is you can't go up and down stairs. I don't know. Something to think about. Back to work for me. No rest for the wicked.
Ain't no rest for the wicked.
We're just saying. There was something I was seeing Gundam 8th Squadron. Right? The 8th Squadron MS. I feel like that was another one where they had, well, and gun cannons. Gun cannons in Gundam are torso on treads. I don't need all of this. And probably one more good picture. Right? Why are you not? I don't know. It's in the wrong folder. I don't like things that are just a little too perfect. Now that was a sneeze. We have about 1 minute left. I have a doctor's appointment today at noon, but I will save this as page 9. Thank you. And I will save this one as page 8. There we go. Now we have these two pages kind of back to back. They show sort of life and the unity. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, I've got a doctor's appointment, but it's in person, so I'm going to go tootle out to visit with her. She's a good person, though. I like her. She's cool. I'm cool with her. She's cool. Now what I will do is also save as tech manual. And we will save this as a clip studio. We will call this PR left. I'll let that do its crunchy things that makes everybody freak out. And then save as, and I will call this right. Always. I think man, my doctor loves chatting about weird and bizarre things. This is the head shrink I'm going to today, though. My head will get smaller. It's actually
God.
been horribly, horribly, horribly useful. More useful than I thought to talk to a psychiatrist. Because the psychiatrist understands ADD a whole lot better than I did. And that helps a whole lot when you're struggling with ADD and stuff like that. That's a bigger monster than it looks. So anyway, Mortal Online. I don't remember what Mortal Online was. I'm sure it was critical. Anyway, okay. How are you doing over there?
I'm almost done.
Well, unlike yesterday's drawing, though, this one's. See you later, Donald. Take care of yourself, my friend. And Brent's in travel mode, so I'll see Brent tomorrow. Brent, we will have a printable thing ready for tomorrow when you get here. Because I'm going to finish it. I only need to finish up like 3 or 4 more pages. We just need to put in some random stuff. I mean, it's some just like too much text, not enough pictures. So I have a lot of pictures. Might as well use them, you know. So, okay. Well, Brian, thank you for joining me, my friend.
You're welcome.
I'm going to head on out, and I feel like we're washed out again. Are we washed out again? We are washed out again. Or it just got much brighter, that's all. There we go. That's much better. I don't look pale and white and like I'm going to die. Anyway, cool. Brian, my friend, I will see you probably tomorrow. If you join us tomorrow, we can do artist check-in with you. And
okay.
Hopefully Pepper. Pepper was having problems on Wednesday, so we'll see whether Pepper can join us. And either way, hopefully for artist check-in, I can say I sent everything off to the printers. You know.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It would be nice.
So are you doing more work tonight?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll just after the doctor's appointment, I'll come back here and just keep working. And I might take a nap because I only slept 5 hours last night. So I probably ought to at least pick up 1 more hour if I can. And then tonight is Star Trek Picard and another episode of Discovery. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to that and staying off of social media because I'm going to watch that with my wife. And so I don't want to spoil anything before I watch it tonight. So anyway, so that's a thing.
Sounds good.
I will talk to you later, my friend. Thank you for joining me. And thank you for joining me, Donald and Brent and Hone, who left a while back, but they'll be back at some point because they got work tomorrow. They got work to do tomorrow. Cool. Then for everybody else who's joined me, thank you. And remember to keep your eyes on the stars. Goodbye.
computer. Good night.